it's a thing. Oop. The hum's there. And I'm not entirely happy with that angle. There we go. Does it really matter if I've got the door in the shot? I don't know. I don't like it, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully, in future days, we can get rid of that hum because it's very annoying. Listen to that. I touch the mic and oh yeah, it goes hummy. Hum, 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 hum. Welcome back to the Daily Freakout. This is Thursday. The numbers are increasing, people. Let's talk numbers quickly. So many podcasters and social media people and stuff like that, dare I say it, influencers, talk about the numbers don't matter and you shouldn't focus on the numbers and stuff like that. But those are the people who clearly have big numbers. They've got shit going on. They've done stuff. They're somewhere along in their path. People like me look at the numbers and are genuinely concerned as to whether I should bother continuing to do this. Monday did fantastic. It's amazing. But the last Tuesday and Wednesday have only got the classic 2. And I thank you to you two, the 2 people that are following along long enough to do that, to watch those episodes. Thank you so much. The question, though, I have to ask is, why are you not actually watching the show? Because those 2 views didn't actually watch. They just sort of clicked on and then moved on, and that's fine. I can't make you do it. I can't make you watch this. It's obviously not good enough. I'm a pessimist. What can I say? I'm not an optimist. I'm always a pessimist, and I'm always a little bit concerned about the point of things and why we do things, all that kind of stuff. In the future, I'm hoping to bring back a segment that I've tried to do it a few times, called Philosophy Fun Bag, where we talk about philosophy, but it actually involves a little bit more research than I've done in the past. So it takes effort. And today I wouldn't say rush the episode, but I certainly have to get moving and not dawdle because I've actually got stuff to do today. I have to go do some gardening work to actually earn some money, because this doesn't earn enough at all, anything. And so hopefully I can go do that today and get it done, and then get back to posting things online, because that's what I want to do. Speaking of posting things online, did you see this Clavicular guy? Oh my god. He's something like, I haven't done enough research because I don't want to know more about him than I sort of have already been forced to know. He's not that old. He's like 20 or something, and he claims that he's like this looks max. He's all about looking good and like looking great and stuff, and that like to get a bigger jaw, you hit it with a hammer. And I'm like, somebody else commented online that, and I saw the comment that said that this is what women have been doing for decades, if not more. Like this whole thing of like trying to look thin and trying to look big boobs and good lips and all that kind of stuff. That's what women have been doing. So all you're doing is putting a name on something that's been going on for a long time. And so you're nothing special. He also doesn't look that good. He's not that attractive. Like, he's a perfectly fine looking guy, and I'm sure lots of girls out there are like, oh my god, he's fantastic. But he's not that great. And he recommends using crystal meth, which I'm not a fan of, personally. I don't know about you. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. I'm not a fan of using crystal meth. I don't understand. I feel like crystal meth probably has a time and a place for it. Apparently you get hypersexual. So imagine if you and your partner are in a small room or something together, and you want to get hypersexual, do that. Because like if you take MDMA, you don't necessarily get hypersexual, you just fall in love. So maybe you want to be hypersexual, and so maybe. But the the negative repercussions from meth are well documented. It's a very problematic, highly intense drug, and he claims that there's no downsides and all this other stuff. And it really sounds like he literally just needs to go to therapy and have some and think about himself a bit, as opposed to worrying. Again, he's worrying about the numbers just like I am. But I'm not live streaming in the way that he does. I like to think that I'm providing some kind of show that you can actually enjoy and listen to, as opposed to walking down the street. Because that's all I ever see these live streamers do. They're always just walking down the street with someone filming them, and then something happens. And it's usually something shitty that happens, like they try and they get into a fight. And that seems to be the thing. It's like Test cricket, and but a fight breaks out, where you sit there for a live stream of 8 hours watching nothing happen, and then something happens, and you're all like, oh my God, it's the most amazing thing ever. Wow, it's crazy. Anyway, apparently the guy likes to take meth, and he's telling young boys to act like idiots. And I don't get it. It's not my thing. I don't understand these people that recommend and talk about being rude to women and women being bad. It's like, if you like women, you want women to like you, so treat them nice. That's my theory. My problem is that I go over the top, and then that becomes creepy and weird, which is fair enough. But yeah, it's just very weird stuff going on. Let's play a record. Let's see if we can play a record. Let's see if this works without much hum. This is one of my absolute favorite records. Oh, and we're not getting a single sound out of it. That's fantastic. Oh. Because for some reason, at some point, my smart brain has unplugged it and not plugged it back in again. God damn. So this is how professional this show is. And that's why only 2 people click on it and then don't actually watch it. Because, there we go. This is a record I found. I don't know where I found it. It's called Instrumental Greats. It's very similar to Moog Plays the Beatles. This is Popcorn. And if you're listening to this in stereo, it's fantastic. There are some absolute gems. Oh, that's a bit quiet and makes the hum. I feel like if you're a the 2001 theme. Oh yeah. I feel like if you're a DJ or something, this kind of record is something you should have in your collection. Because it sounds just so good. And I treat it like absolute arse. I will be honest, I do not. Why is that light not on? That light there should be on. There should be a light on there. And that's barely on as well. What am I... Oh, it's because I'm plugged into the solar. That's why. This is... There you go. How good's that? Oh, the light's on. For those of you out there, this is... Oh, but now it won't turn. Well, there you go. Let's see what happens if I do this. This is why I should not be in charge of the speed of the turntable. So, there you go. The turntable was plugged in to the solar power here at Shea Mock Island. It wasn't working too well. But anyway, you heard a little bit of it. Instrumental Greats. I don't know if it's on Discogs or anything like that. If you get a chance, try and find it, because it's fantastic. Instrumental Greats. It's again, I don't know where I got it from. I have just managed to find it on Discogs. There we go. It is available for about $14 Australian. It was last sold in 21. I would not sell this copy because it's in such terrible condition, if I'm being honest. It is not. How am I going to make it so that you can see that? But you can see some of the track. Oh, there we go. Some of the track. Oh, we're not going to be able to see it clearly because of the way this is set up. See if I can do some re-editing here on. There we go. Professional. And I'm barely in the shot now, which is fine because my face isn't what you want to see, is it? I don't know. So there's some great ones there. There's the MASH theme, the Sting, Bonanza, Popcorn, which is my favorite, which we just listened to just then. Shaft, Tijuana, and then down the bottom there's Spanish Flea. That is a fantastic one that you should check out. It is available. There are 3 copies of it available, all here in Australia, which is fantastic. I don't know if it's because my settings are set to Australia, which they probably are, because shipping these days is ridiculous. Again, there, look at that. You'll be paying more for the shipping. Or is that? That's the price, what, plus the shipping? Oh, yeah, plus 15 for the shipping. So you're paying more for the shipping on most of those than you are for the actual record. That said, though, if you're a DJ, I highly recommend it because that is a fantastic record for that kind of DJ stuff. If you want to sample it and all that kind of stuff. Let's talk about the news. Let's talk about some of the absolute insanity that's going on in the world. Iran posts AI video of Jesus punching Trump. An Iranian embassy has posted a scorching AI-generated video of Jesus punching President Trump and casting the commander-in-chief into hell. For you people, because I'm trying to be better at this, I've actually set it up so that we can watch the video. Here we go.
Your reckoning has come. What is this?
Absolutely crazy, that video. The only thing crazier is that Trump posted the first clip or the first picture in the first place. He's genuinely gone insane, and he's posting so much stuff that you're just like, what is going on? What is happening here? And then this happens where the Iranian embassies around the world have been, I assume they've been told, hey, go for it. If you want to fight back with some more insanity, absolutely go for it, because they're doing it, and it's disappointing. It really is disappointing that we have it show my issue is it shows that this was sort of always how it was. I don't think this is necessarily new. I think this is what governments and politicians have always been like behind the scenes, as it were. Like, they've always been sitting there going, oh, so-and-so's an idiot, blah, 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 blah. And then when they come out in front of everyone, they go, I am a very serious politician. And I don't think this is anything new. I don't think we're seeing something that's that surprising. But it's disappointing, because I kind of preferred it when at least they put up the facade of doing serious work. You know what I mean? I at least want my politicians to pretend that they're better than what they are. And at the moment, it just seems like they're not. And it just seems... It seems like you cannot trust any politician, because the background of what's going on in their mind is things like Trump thinking he's Jesus. Or in our case, Pauline Hanson bullshitting about whether she's in the pocket of Gina Reinhardt. And just telling people that that's stupid, blah, blah, blah. And people believe it. Because as George Carlin said, think of the average intelligence, and then think half the population is dumber than that. And we almost have to be protected from ourselves. Not almost. We have to be protected from ourselves, because we make stupid decisions and we vote people like Trump into power, or we somehow allow Viktor Orban, or whatever his name is, in Hungary to be in power for almost 20 years. And it takes a thing like Trump to show people, hey, you've got to get rid of these people. They're no good, and you can vote them out. And so now he's been voted out, and hopefully here in Australia we don't go that far. The only unfortunate thing is for me here in Oz is our current government isn't that much better. We're like, they're in the middle. Like, I was really pleased when the really right people didn't get into power the other year, last year. Was that last year? Yeah, last year. Really pleased, really happy about it. But it just, people have pointed out that, like, they were on the right, that's my right, your left, and the government that got in would, like, only a little bit on the right. They were like a centre right, and it's like, oh, great. Why can't we have a left government? Like, really, why can't we? If you look at the world as it is, and most governments sort of lean right, it's like centre or right, tell me there's ever been, where has, put it in the comments, please, where has there ever been a seriously left government? Has that ever happened and ever worked? And don't tell me, oh, communist this, communist that, because those governments weren't left. They claimed to be communist. I mean, Nazism claimed to be socialist. What the hell? It's not socialism. Even socialism at its like worst, but actual socialism is not like Nazism. It's this annoying thing that almost all governments are right-leaning, and I wonder if maybe, and this is where I fall down towards anarchism, is it possible for any government to ever be left? Because in order to be a government, you have to be right, because you have to be somewhat forceful and law enforcing, etc., etc. And you can't, because you can't just say allow any crime to happen. You can't just go, oh yeah, whatever. You have to be forceful. And then some people who are criminals who do things and then don't acknowledge the fact that they did something wrong are going to be like, oh, they're just trying to put me down, blah, blah, blah. And that's where you get into some of the sovereign citizen thinking, where they're just like, oh, you can't tell me what to do. You shouldn't tell me what to do. You're meant to be my employee. And it's like, oh, God. And that's where I get to this point of like, oh, throw my hands up and don't care. Because I don't necessarily have the willpower and the strength to continue trying to debate these things, because you can't win. There's always going to be these idiots that just do the wrong thing. And I definitely have been one of those idiots in the past. And hopefully in the future, I'm not one of those idiots. But you never know. So that's where I sort of fall down towards anarchism and stuff, because I'm just like, you know what? You can't have a government or people in power that don't abuse it according to someone. Someone's always going to be unhappy. And so you almost have to just have complete lawlessness, because that way everyone just has to fend for themselves. But then I'd like it if we could actually look after people and have a society that works together and benefits people, so the downtrodden are able to not be downtrodden. Which we have to acknowledge at the moment here in Australia, we do have a system like that, where people who are not doing well can go and get help. And there is some help out there. It might not be enough for some people, and some people might be a bit, and then other people are like, oh no, too much. I don't know. What do you reckon? Put it in the comments. Tell me what you think. How do we fix it? What can we actually do that benefits everyone, and makes for a better world? Because law enforcement is a difficult situation, or a difficult thing, where you can't, it's hard to say, do this, do that, and then allow people to do whatever they want. Anyway, law enforcement and all that kind of stuff does also lead to war, and in war, we now have robots. Ukraine said it captured a Russian position using only ground robots and drones, no infantry for the first time. This is absolutely insane. The Ukraine's, not the Ukraine, you're not meant to say the Ukraine anymore, are you? Ukraine said it took a Russian position using just drones and ground robots. Zelensky said it was a wartime first, and no Ukrainian infantry was involved. He said robots have done over 22,000 missions in 3 months, keeping many soldiers from harm. And that little 6-wheel gun turret looks pretty damn scary when you think about it. Is this Terminator? Is this the step? Is this the first step where it's on wheels? And when all these bipedal robots, because that's Johnny Five, isn't it? If you've ever seen the movie Short Circuit, with Johnny Five, who is alive. Hold on 1 second. Where's a good one here? So that's the Johnny Five, Steve Guttenberg movie, where a military robot breaks its programming and works out how to be a good guy. That's him with a girl. And he has a gun on his side, a laser gun, but he takes that off because he doesn't want to harm anyone. And then eventually he helps them find love and all that kind of stuff. And then in Short Circuit 2, he somehow goes to New York, and there's a very awkward bit of brown face, which in retrospect I never noticed and never thought about in the when I watched it as a kid. But yeah, it just feels like that. Look at that. That's the same thing. So Johnny Five has these two big road track, like a tank on his thing, but this thing's just got 6 wheels. So it's Johnny Five come to life, or is alive, and it's like yeah, sure, it sorry, it does take away the fact that you don't have humans involved, but they're still killing humans, aren't they? Or is it just going to be robot on robot? Are we going to have robots guarding our bases, and other robots are going to come and try and take out the... Is it Robot Wars? Is that what's coming? Is Robot Wars the next step in military action and military offense and defense? Because the Ukraine-Russia war has shown us that drones and all this other stuff and all this kind of technology have really, really made an impact. This is the Ukraine-Russia war is the first robot war where robots are involved. The Clone Wars are here, and it's only a matter of time, from my uneducated opinion, that that's the future. That when we're going to have it where robots v robots, and we're not going to be able to stop the robots, and it's going to be terrible. It's just the escalation of war hasn't gone to nuclear, but it has gone to robot versus robot. Or in the case of the US and Israel versus Iran, it's just bombing, where they just send bombs from distance. And I mean, that's happened before, because I think that was what happened with like the Falklands and stuff like that. But it's just bomb after bomb, and it's drone and robot after robot, and it's just a matter of, can we continue to build these things? And then somebody has to get paid, so someone makes money, so some fat cat makes money, and then they fund politicians who continue to make wars so that they can continue to make money, and blah, 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 blah. And the plebs like me sit back and go, hey, maybe we shouldn't have all this power and money consolidated in a few people, and we should have some more anarchistic views and ideas. To be clear, I don't think true no rules anarchy would actually work. I don't like the idea of having presidents and kings and power all consolidated in such big amounts. Countries like Russia and the US, and even the old UK, England, just had too much power. It needs to be small. For instance, I think the US should break up into countries. They should all become countries. and they can have lots of infighting, and that way they won't fight with other places in the world. That kind of thing. Because you do need to have some organisation. You can't not have some organisation. People are always going to organise in groups. That's why we are what we are. But it would be nice if we didn't have to worry about bombs and drones and Johnny Five coming and killing us. That said, though, Johnny Five Short Circuit is a good movie. As I said, the second movie, Short Circuit in New York, is a little bit awkward with the brown face, but the first one in particular is fantastic, and you should check it out. For when it comes to wacky 80s films, that's my recommendation of the day. It is the movie Short Circuit. Let's see if I can actually get a proper poster for you. Yeah, well, that's the special edition there. Number 5 is alive because he was robot number 5 out of like 10 or something. So yeah, check it out. Short Circuit. That's my movie recommendation for Thursday, the 16th of April, 2026. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the Daily Freakout. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to boost it up to the big 5-0. Obviously, no one was listening when I tried to do the subscriber push yesterday, so we might have to do that for a little bit more going on. We're still at a total of 42, but I assume that our 2 listeners or 2 watchers are the only people that are already subscribed. So like, share it, all that kind of stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in. The hum is so bad. I hate it. I really hate it. Thank you for tuning in. I hate the hum, but I love you for tuning in. Thank you so much. This has been the Daily Freakout with extra hum. There you go.